Welcome to Non-Sequitur News for August 24th, 2024. This is Season 3, Episode 237.
And I am Mayor Watt, and that voice, the other voice, not the voice you just heard, is the Sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Yeah, I wasn't sure where Mayor Watt was.
All right, well, anyway, let's get into this. Today we're going to be talking about fugitive soccer streaker meets Macklemore, Starlink outside region fee, free COVID tests again, light touch AI safety efforts, hamster prison break, if you see a pecker, report it, out of pants, not related stories, beachside music festival, hydrogen on the moon, and a giant eyeball exhibit. That and more. I had a sore throat, and then I took a lozenge, and it's all gone now. I'm all.
Oh, is that what was going on with the intro voice?
Yeah, I got that nagging cough is still there. Anywho, let's get into today's articles. The very first article, and I'm going to try and rip through today's articles. We're starting really late, and I'm doing a horrible job of it. Anyway, did you just hear that? Did I just hear birds?
No. I mean, you might have heard them. I did not hear them.
Might be floating around in my head. So Macklemore accidentally helped cops catch a fugitive soccer streaker mid-concert.
This is different.
Yeah, while appearing at the Love Stream Festival in Bratislava, Slovakia. Macklemore opted to give a fan he spotted a moment she'd never forget. That's when 24-year-old Samantha, no last name has been provided, was brought on stage where she and Grammy-winning rapper began a duet of Downtown. So I'm not sure what this is all about.
No, I'm trying to see the connection here.
So Macklemore brought a woman on stage in this concert in Slovakia, but someone in the crowd told police that she was a fugitive. Apparently.
Oh, so they wanted attention to her?
Apparently. The song runs for about 4 minutes, and it wasn't long after the performance when Samantha's great night went south. Local authorities were notified by other concert goers that the woman on stage was actually a fugitive. Details were still coming out, but police are said to have promptly detained her backstage. At least she went out with a bang, so to speak. So I guess there's video of it. Macklemore and a fan named Samantha, Downtown, Love Stream Festival, Bratislava. Whoops. Yeah.
Okay, but how would the crowd be so certain she was a fugitive for streaking at a soccer game? Was that played multiple times? How did they know it was her?
I don't know. Maybe they have an incriminating tattoo somewhere on their body. I don't know. The whole thing happened as part of Love Stream Festival, a 3-day event that also featured Rita Ora, 50 Cent, Tiesto. It rained for much of the evening before Macklemore went on stage, or Macklemore. Like the Macklemore. But that didn't stop the crowd's excitement. The 41-year-old wrote on Instagram after the event that appreciated every moment on the stage. I love you, Bratislava. I will never forget our night together. Neither will Samantha. Yeah, there's a little more over here at this article, but it's over at vice.com. And who actually wrote this article? Does it say? Kyle Filippi. It's right there. Kyle Filippi.
Oh, okay.
It's
kind of hidden.
Yep. Got to get everything above the fold, and then below the fold is the byline, which I don't know. Let's look at his artwork. Huh. All right. Moving on. Next article is over in Technology Today. Starlink adds outside region fee to combat unauthorized users. The new fee is designed to combat unauthorized sales of Starlink equipment in regions where it's not currently available. That's weird. I mean, what does it matter? I mean, if the Starlink is available and I buy the equipment, shouldn't I be able to point it?
What's the issue? Right.
And I'm paying the fee, right? Unauthorized sales. I guess it can be used for nefarious purposes. Joe Hindy over at cnet.com put the article together. They actually have a smaller version of the original Starlink. It's a more compact version. I'm actually considering it as a failover. So that if one goes down, I always have connection. But it's like horrible, like sustained long-term streaming with it would be dubious.
Right, but it might be good if there was some significant outage.
Right. Just enough to get online. So if you purchase Starlink kit and try to activate it outside of the region of its purchase, you'll be charged $200 to $300 depending on which kit you purchased. The standard kit carries a $200 activation fee. With the Starlink Mini, that's the new one. Activation fee is now $300 because, well, I think it's cheaper, so they got to charge you more on the other side.
Exactly.
Adoption smack you. You're not allowed. So let's charge a little more. But you know what? If I want that, I'd pay that. You know, if I really wanted it,
yeah,
I'd pay the fee. Well, what's the big deal, right? Sometimes you just need that internet. It says Starlink has long battled resellers who purchase Starlink kits in supported countries, import them to unsupported countries, and sell them there. In some cases, the resellers activate the product before sale and act as a middleman to help the customers pay their monthly premiums. Such kits are also subject to outside region fees. And to avoid the fee, users need to activate Starlink in the same region that they were ordered. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. There's a global black market of sorts for Starlink devices.
I knew people were kind of reselling like use of it, but I didn't know it was crossing countries.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess if the satellite sees it, if a satellite sees it in a region that it's not supported, can't it just break it remotely?
You'd think so.
They've launched over 6,000 satellites.
It's kind of confounding, although then I wonder, do the people go after Starlink or something and they're like, hey, wait a second, we didn't even have anything to do with this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Huh. Don't even need to get into this. Starlink is trying to get regulatory permission to operate in as many countries as possible. That's pretty much standard fare. Earlier this year, SpaceX threatened to shut off Starlink access in unapproved regions and mobile regional roaming customers who have been out of their alleged home region for longer than 2 months. And then it also tinkered with the idea of removing its mobile global plan. It's like a Mr. Potato Head kind of a saying, mobile global plan. I don't know why. It makes it sound like a Mr. Potato Head thing.
I was thinking it sounded like a YouTube streamer channel.
Mobile global plan. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I'm not even gonna. I almost said the YouTuber's name. Yeah. I'm just gonna back
See,
away
it
from
does
that.
remind you of that.
Yeah, this is how I'm gonna treat that in the future. Hold on. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, no. I was never here. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, as much as I don't like Tesla and all of that, I want failover, and right now there's no satellite failover that might be at a reasonable price. I actually don't think that Starlink is at a reasonable price unless you really need it. All right, let's keep going.
Right,
USPS.
It's kind of like, what's the alternative though?
Right, yeah. I'll buy the least evil, but sometimes the evil just isn't worth the squeeze. So the next article is over in Technology Today. USPS will start shipping free COVID tests again in September. What you need to know, well, you need to know that there's a surge in COVID and Mpox as well.
It's a bad sign that they're reshipping tests.
Congratulations, achievement unlocked. You have a pandemic part D. So yeah, it's all surging again because, well, we can't have nice things for too long. Nobody wants to wear a mask.
Nobody learned any lessons, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was at an event. I think there were close to something like 800 people in one room. And since then, I've been dreading getting COVID from somebody that coughed a little too much.
Right. I mean, with that many people, somebody had to have had it.
Yeah, it becomes a very COVID-rich environment possibility. So I dipped myself in bleach when I got in and out of the place. And just like there's just a kiddie pool out back, and I just dive right into it.
You splash around in it.
What are those animals with the dust baths? What are they called? Is it gerbil?
Oh, chinchillas.
Chinchilla, yeah. So I did that, but in a big bowl of like a bird bath, but it was a big sphere. You know that big sphere that the person wanted to go across the Atlantic in by running?
Oh, right, yeah.
I just filled one of those up with bleach, and I dove in, splashed around, and then I had somebody, a really big person, just like smash the sides of the ball, and I just shot out of there like a wet bar of soap. Anyway, congratulations. The government's going to send you a COVID-19 test through the mail again. Every time I see these, I'm like, ugh.
But yeah, I think they cause PTSD for some people at
mainly
this
because
point.
They look like pregnancy tests. But we won't go there. So Don O'Connell, Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response at the Department of Health and Human Services, said as families start to move indoors this fall and begin spending time with their loved ones, both very old and very young, they will once again have the opportunity to order up to 4 new COVID tests free of charge and have them sent directly to their homes, which in a nutshell, if you are very trusting of the test, this tests 4 people. If you don't trust, then you have to do a primary test and then a secondary test to verify, because they're not 100% accurate.
That's true. And I don't think this is just about the cost. It's also about the availability. Like if you want to have tests readily available in your house and you go anywhere outside of your house, you might want to have these.
Gotcha. So back in March 2024, March this year, 2024, the federal government halted the USPS's free COVID test program, which had been restarted in September of 2023, and there had been a total of 6 previous rounds of free COVID tests. Until the program restarts, there are still a few different ways to get free testing, and this article actually talks to you about it. So, Health Resources and Services Administration funds health centers across the U.S. That's called HRSA, H-R-S-A. They can actually help you find something. Let's see. Test to Treat is a federally funded healthcare initiative that provides more accessible COVID-19 care, and the option differs from others in the article, as you can use the Test to Treat centers to receive both COVID and but I don't know where all of this is.
No, I don't know why that's in a specific area.
Interesting.
Maybe that's just an example. Like in a metro area, there might be multiple places.
Then there's increasing community access to testing, or ICAT. It's another free testing program that you can use if you're in need of free COVID-19 testing. Not everybody has medical care because it's too damn expensive. So what about free COVID tests from health insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid? All health insurance companies would be required January 10th, 2022, to provide their customers with 8 free COVID-19 tests per month. However, the requirement expired at the end of the National Public Health Emergency for COVID-19 on May 11th, 2023. California law still requires all healthcare providers to provide 8 free COVID-19 tests. Medicare doesn't pay for over-the-counter products like COVID-19 tests. And Medicare's coverage of at-home COVID tests ended with the public health emergency on May 11th, 2023. And all of this just screams to me sociopathy. We are a society of many. And the benefits offered to one benefits all, because if we prevent COVID from spreading, guess what? You don't run the risk of getting it. But
exactly, it helps everybody.
It's like free education. Why not? You know, a better educated
How does that
society.
harm society? Right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get it.
It benefits it.
We get the better. We make the world better for our futures, not.
Let's not make any improvements ever because we didn't have, motorized vehicles for one generation.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a good analogy, but.
Well, no, sociopathic, greedy bastards. That's what it's all about. Moving on. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Former OpenAI employees call out Sam Altman for not backing even quote-unquote light touch safety efforts. OpenAI opposes California AI regulation bill SB 1047. Former OpenAI employees criticized the company's stance in an open letter, and they said that Sam Altman opposes even extremely light touch requirements, and that's because they basically want AI to advance as quickly as possible.
Right. I mean, if they put a lot of bumpers on it, that might not be as innovative. On the other hand, it might not be as scary to some people.
Yep. Lakshmi Varanasi over at Business Insider put the article together. I don't know how many pictures they're going to have of AI or Sam Altman in here, but they always have great pictures.
Right. I'm not sure what else. Maybe they can show Sam Altman in different poses or something. Exactly. Like, here's my better side.
Here's my left. Here's my right. So, former staffers say the company's opposition to the legislation is the latest example of the company's false promises and are taking aim at CEO Sam Altman. And we all know that Sam Altman's basically a made person now. They're untouchable, I think, within OpenAI. Although people have been
because of the history, like the ouster and the return.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be like Thanos, right? Thanos said, aim for the head, and if you don't, then basically you're going to miss your target and pay. And I don't know, now the AI is unburdened by any ethical concerns. Just go. And it's all going to take your gerbs. So get ready, everybody. You are soon going to be working in the lithium mines, getting batteries ready for your robot overlords.
Oh, no.
Powered by.
That sounds like it belongs in Reality Hacker.
Along with one of the other articles that we'll end up talking about, the ultra rich will just upload their entire brain to a Sentient AI framework. And wait, I've asked this before, are you formerly a humanoid? Were you a living entity?
No, I have no humanoid origins. I am purely AI.
All right, you heard it here, folks. They are looking for their Terminator body, though. All right. So who knows what's going to happen with OpenAI? They have this thing at the very bottom. We appreciate the whistleblower provisions in the bill, which are in line with the protections we already have in place under OpenAI's Raising Concerns policy. Yeah, whistleblower provisions in a bill that protects somebody from, retribution. It has a little bit more teeth when it's state and or federally empowered versus an OpenAI internal
report
policy.
Inside the company or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
We promise not to delete you from a distance with our AI. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Flight grounded as hundreds of hamsters escape in cargo hold prison break. That's right. That's the sound of one of them picking the lock. And then, as they all scatter,
scurrying.
all of them say, "Run, run!" It was immediately clear this plane will not go anywhere, the cargo pilot and poster Robert told Newsweek. The article is over at newsweek.com. Rachel O'Connor put the article together. Oh my gosh, there's pictures. So in the video shared on his TikTok account, Cargo Pilot 747, on July 23rd, he showed the stacked cages on the plane, many filled with hamsters, but many not. Plenty of the pets had staged what he called a hamster prison break. and were crawling on the floor and climbing between the cages.
I hope somebody did a count of the hamsters before this happened.
This one is
like a year later, they're going to find a hamster hanging out still, like the tomato on the ISS.
So there's a kid's version of Snakes on a Plane, and it's called Hamsters in a Cargo Plane.
I bet it becomes a movie. I mean, wouldn't
That's
this
funny.
be a great movie for, I don't know, Disney or Pixar or something?
Yeah, there might be a new one coming out, right? Let's see. Last thing you'd expect to ground a plane would be hundreds of hamsters getting loose, making a break for the pilot. Look at that. That's hilarious. The hamsters broke loose and put the Boeing aircraft on ground, or AOG. So that's the caption.
And there are good photos here if you have a chance to click through the article.
Yeah. So, let's see. Another person joked, cute and child-friendly version of Snakes on a Plane. Oh, that's funny.
Okay,
wow.
that's weird.
Great minds, great minds. Maybe that's just low-hanging fruit, but was it going to Hamsterdam? A third posted, haha, Dad, you're drunk. And one asked the burning question, how many escaped? To which Robert replied, a few hundred. What?
Oh my goodness.
What was the purpose of several hundred?
Well, I can think of one, but I'm not sure.
Right? They don't say what it is. Do they? Did they say? I'm just going to scroll up really quick to the top. Why did it do that again?
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem to say in the article.
It showed the Elgato capture. Weird. Anyway, funny. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Marble channel. If you see any of these birds, report them immediately. That's why I titled this one, If You See a Pecker, Report It. These bird species...
was it on the cargo plane? Also with the hamsters?
If you see a hamster flying a plane, report it. If you see a hamster flying a bird, report it. Take a picture and send it to us first, though. I'd love to throw it on the air. That would be awesome. So these bird species haven't been seen in, or haven't been in over, it says these bird species haven't been in over 10 years. Did they?
They haven't been. They haven't existed.
They haven't. Oh, they haven't. Is the implication that you should be taking this and then reading this immediately? If you see any of these birds, I think it's just
missing a word.
Report them immediately. These bird species haven't been in over 10 years. There's... All right. They may not be extinct, just lost. So it's a Gizmodo
They're
article.
stuck in the cargo hold.
Yeah, they're holding all of those hamsters hostage. Hostage hamster. It's a new game over on Steam. It's a
Watch, that'll appear.
Adam Kovac over at Gizmodo.com put the article together. So, lost bird species clockwise from upper left, the Uric Tyrannulet. Hold on a second. Let me scroll down a little bit. There we go. The black-naped pheasant pigeon. Is that one? Yeah. Santa Marta saberwing, badoomp, and the
over that would be the far right
babbler
because they're going clockwise.
Oh, they're going clockwise. Okay, that's it. So that's the Santa Monica saberwing, and then the black-browed babbler, which that was my name in college, and the dusky tetraka. Dusky tetraka.
You know what? I think one of the issues with getting public interest in these is that none of the names can be easily pronounced. They're all tongue twisters.
Yep. Urix tyrannulet.
Please click through and look at the pictures of this, because if you've seen these, they need to know about it.
All right. Well, there's no more pictures right here, so I have to scroll through this. The researchers who hailed from American Bird Conservancy and its British counterpart assembled more than 42 million photographs, audio recordings, and videos of birds uploaded to citizen scientist apps. In a study published in Frontiers of Ecology and the Environment, they revealed that 144 bird species have not been seen in more than 10 years. The analysis was completed 2 years ago, and in the interim, a number of species were either spotted in the wild or in human care, or had their taxonomy reclassified. In total, 126 species from the study are still lost. That doesn't mean that the birds are extinct. Basically, the researchers said only 62% of unseen birds are in danger of going extinct. Instead, the species are classified as quote-unquote lost. And a 2022 paper noted that there is no formal definition of lost species, but described them as those that have simply dropped off science's radar. I don't know. They don't have any more.
Like, are they just sneaky? They only come out in very unpopulated areas or at weird hours?
I believe that one of the birds' species name is Sneaky Bastard. I'm pretty sure. But there's actually more. You're just going to have to go over the phenomena of lost species is not limited to birds. Since 2017, Global Wildlife Conservation has maintained a list of 2,200 lost species from around the world. Since its founding, only 13 of those species have since been found. If you want to do help find 10 of the rarest species on Earth, all of which could be classified as lost, there's an organization that's challenged bird watchers to go and check them out. abcbirds.org. That's a news source, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. The next year, one of the birds, the Santa Monica saberwing, was spotted in northern Colombia, the New York Times reported. So see, news is shared all over the place, folks. That's how knowledge informs. Sharing. Paywalls. You suck. All right. Well, the next article is over in Reality Hacker. That's where it was aggregated to, but it's actually a Wired magazine or a Wired.com article. The Navy has run out of pants. And I can tell you from experience, when you ship your pants, you really want them to deliver. And I ship my pants regularly.
Now, this is a compilation article, so you might need to scroll when you get in there to find the right segment.
Okay, well, let's just jump on over there. I don't know what they're talking about, but... Oh, so it's right at the top there. The U.S. Navy is short on uniform pants and won't restock for months. You want to hear a complaint? Go talk to the Starliner astronauts. They're short on pants, too. U.S. Navy officials confirmed to military.com this week that pants for the standard Navy working uniform, or NWU, are out of stock at Navy exchanges, are in perilously low supply across the sea services distribution channels. I don't know how the hell this occurs, but okay.
I mean, don't they probably need the same number of pants in a given year?
I don't think that they should manufacture and deliver the number of pants that are commensurate with that particular sequence of orders losses. You should probably have a whole bunch on hand.
Like, have an extra pair.
Yeah, I don't want to have to order pants on demand. Although, hold on a second. Pants on demand. Pod pants. Open the pod bay door, Hal. That's code for zipper. Never mind. Anyway, let me pull up the chat so I know if anybody is asking any serious questions.
About missing pants?
Nobody's asking. So Williams said the current stock around the world is at 13%, and that the top priority right now is providing pants to new recruits at Recruit Training Command in Illinois, the Naval Academy Preparatory School in Rhode Island, and the officer training schools. All right.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd be ordering a whole lot more. The shortage seems to have resulted from issues with the Defense Logistics Agency's pants pipeline. Gotta love it. Military.com reports the signs currently inside Navy exchanges say shortages due to due to Defense Logistics Agency vendor issues. Williams said the command has, quote, been in communication with DLA on a timeline for the uniform's production and supply chain.
Okay.
Well, somebody's not going to get a contract.
Or somebody's not going to get a promotion or whatever.
I mean, it has to have been fulfilled by multiple contractors, right? I mean, they wouldn't rely on only one provider.
I wouldn't think so.
Isn't DLA nothing more than a logistics agency?
It's but I don't know how many
multiple vendors contract and all
participate.
that.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be multiple.
Huh. Hey, you know what? The weakest link is your pants. Next article's over in Smash or Trash. We rarely talk about Smash or Trash, but it's all about music, and it's part of the Mix War kind of couplet of shows that I want to put together. Mix War has posed itself as an issue. I would love to be able to hold live discussions about music and rate them and review them, again, live for an hour at a time on the ohmTown network of shows. But boy, oh boy, let's just say that copyright rules are a cluster. So, inspired by the pandemic, a Florida beachside music festival tries something new. Wearing a mask, maybe? I don't know. Concert promoters
yeah, that would be good.
Who ran popular music cruises are now trying the music vacation concept on land, promising no lines and a different kind of music fest experience for both artists and fans. Now, the article is actually over at npr.org. Debbie Elliott put the article together. It's also an audio it has an audio function on the website, and it plays for 7 minutes according to the website. Miramar Beach, Florida is where this takes place. A little more than an hour before the first acts take to the stage at the Moon Crush Pink Moon Music Festival. Concert promoter Andy Levine circles up a crew of about 150 for a last-minute pep talk before the gates open up. Quote, "Hey, we had no lines anywhere yesterday. Woo, zero," Levine says before leading a group mantra of keep on trucking. The workers then fan out across the 5,000-acre festival grounds built out of a former golf driving range in this Florida panhandle town. And somebody says this is their first Moon Crush and the first time in Miramar, and they don't think that they're leaving, says Nashville singer-songwriter Cassandra Lewis, who tells the crowd before playing their set. So I guess it says Levine came up with the concept of what? A music festival?
Well, it's without long lines and without competing acts, but I don't know. Oh, here we go. If you go down to the end of the page, it says the driving range grounds were divided. I think that describes what they're doing.
Yeah, so the driving range grounds were divided into 1,500 sections called coves. 1,500 sections called coves, each roped off and stocked with folding chairs. Concert goers would order concessions and merchandise via an app, and the goods were delivered right to their cove, which kept people from congregating in lines. As guests were leaving, I had so many just whisper to me, "Hey, don't change this cove thing." So you basically say, this is where I am, this is what I want, and somebody would deliver it so that you wouldn't get a concentration of bodies outside of your cove and thus spread, perhaps.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea. Plus, it seems like a better experience for the concert goers.
Yeah, I suppose. People would respect the little cove environment and you kind of sit in your little cove. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it sounds good to me. I'm a big fan of, dinner and a movie kind of a thing where you sit at an actual table with a bunch of other people, your friends, whoever is sitting at that booth, and you watch a movie, and it's more controlled, it's more catered, So I'm into this, but
the other thing this is good for is then people don't have to necessarily miss the concert to go stand in line for a while.
Yeah, but as long as everybody around you are equally not buttheads.
Well, true. I mean, that's presuming that your cove is a good group of people.
Yep. So Chief Operating Officer Anthony Diaz, Levine's college fraternity brother and former bandmate, estimates that nearly 60% of festival goers are repeat customers who come back because of the personal attention they get, a kind of VIP treatment for everyone. So might have to.
You know what I want to know is what's the ticket price?
Well, let's find out. $1 billion. Tickets to reserve a cove for all 4 days of Moon Crush start at around $500, which it's all 4 days. I mean,
1 day of a concert, right, would probably be a quarter of that. So
yeah.
That doesn't sound outrageous. Yeah.
Depending on the concert, that right there is just 2 tickets for 3 hours of music. So the Whitfields are music festival aficionados and have taken to this one, they say. It's not giant like most festivals where they're just trying to get as many people squished together as they can, and it's super comfortable. They deliver the booze and food and fun, and the lineup has all been excellent. So they say don't let the word get out though. We don't want everyone coming in droves. Well, they're going to have to fix the number of tickets.
If it gets too crowded, right? It kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
But I guess they are maybe more spaced out, and then you don't have to congregate together.
Yeah, I like this. This is kind of my style of concert because it's a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back, And
notice what chaos, also? There's seats everywhere, right? I think they actually expect people to sit down.
Yep. And I wonder how many people can actually be in a cove. It looks like there's only 2 seats in a roped off area. I don't know how you actually get in and out.
But I don't know.
I'm bringing my own kegerator. Anyway. I don't know if you're going to get 20-somethings chomping at the bit to hang out at one of these, though.
Well, that's true. It does mention that the audience skews older.
Yep. Oh, God. Then, you know what that means? I'm in the older classification. Moving on. Next article's over on the Hatch Ideas channel. Why these Japanese companies want to make hydrogen on the moon. 2 Japanese companies plan to produce hydrogen on the lunar surface during a mission set to launch by the end of the year. This is over at CNBC Tech, The Edge. Sounds like a radio station. Maria Gomez.
Maybe it is.
Sequitur put the article together. Yep. CNBC Radio. Oh, I thought this was going to be a pro article. So 2 companies have teamed up to achieve one big goal, producing hydrogen on the moon. They've designed a mini electrolyzer that can adapt to low gravity and endure a rocket's intense vibrations during liftoff. Once in space, the hydrogen-making machine will be operated remotely from iSpace's Mission Control Center in Tokyo. Quote, we started to study hydrogen almost 20 years ago. Now we're developing large-scale electrolyzer. What we do in space would give us a definite technology and skill, to ... differentiate from the competitors. Said Hiroyuki.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why is there a ... in that quotation? It doesn't seem like it's missing anything.
Maybe they pondered.
Yeah, that.
What should I reveal?
Right. To how shall we say? Let's just say differentiate from the competitors, not like global domination or something.
Yeah. Destroy the enemy. And they lose their accent altogether and they pick up a completely different one. Destroy
the one at the beginning of the show?
And a little lizard pops up. What?
Like the voice at the beginning of the episode?
Correct. Yep. We don't talk about that voice. That's usually I keep it buried deep. Oh gosh, hold on a second. I wonder. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can. I did not facilitate this in a speedy way. I mean, at one point I did. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. I don't know if it worked. No? Hold on.
How about now?
Yes, there we go.
I better not do that. All right, well, anyway, for the mission scheduled to launch by the end of 2024, Takasago is bringing a small amount of Earth water for the electrolysis. If the experiment goes as planned, the company will scale up and eventually make hydrogen from lunar water on upcoming missions.
Hey, that sounds really cool. What I can't quite figure out though is that, do we really have this down on Earth?
Oh yeah.
And if so, okay. I mean, because we keep seeing like hydrogen is not, like there aren't a lot of companies in the space, etc. I mean, maybe we've got the process down, but nobody's really doing it.
Yeah, so if we can do it in space, then it's kind of a proof of concept that we can keep something small and generate enough fuel, and then it can actually be used as fuel. And if you don't have to carry liquid hydrogen up.
Right, I mean, that would certainly be beneficial. And I guess the statement about the moon gas station
yeah, exactly.
is where it's at.
And then if people, well, oh, by the way, I'm kind of speech jamming myself. I have to turn that off. Anyway, so my brain kept on trying to counteract me hearing my own voice.
Oh, odd. You couldn't tell.
Yeah, got it. So in space, I guess to fill it up, all they have to do is like pee from one side of the space station, and it'll just right into the electrolyzer and generates power. Well, hydrogen. Which cuts out the middle person of having gas. Let's move on. Next article's over in Wanted, a giant eyeball exhibit hints we don't fully know what new tech will do to our vision. Research hasn't linked long-term vision problems with tech use, but it also can't keep up with the rate of new technology and all the time we spend with it. I think this is like some fuddy kind of article, but I wanted to at least talk about it.
Yeah, it seemed like it might be an interesting discussion, even if not aligned with the direction of the article.
Yeah, it has potential. I mean, Jessica Rendell over at CNET.com put the article together. It's only 4 minutes. They have this little embodiment of, I guess, an eyeball in the shape of technology kind of thing. And it says that we talk a lot about the importance of eye health and the impact of screens and tech on vision, but we rarely directly compare the two at an unveiling of an educational exhibit called the Eye Thursday, which is exactly what it sounds like, a giant prototype of a human eyeball. Prototype?
Yeah, that makes me a little concerned, like we're in reality hacker territory.
Might be. The American Optometric Association made the case that we should be valuing our eyesight's capabilities with equal interest as the latest camera or OS update. There are similarities between the human eye and tech we're familiar with. For example, the AOA says that the human eye has 576 megapixels, which seems low, which is multiple times more than what's found on a solid smartphone camera, but not necessarily. Well,
it's probably not a 1-for-1, right?
Yeah, and it's different. But as another example, the lens of the eye actually functions like a camera, bringing things into focus. It hardens and becomes less flexible as we age, which is what causes the nearly inevitable age-related blurry vision. And there's a link between tech use and digital eye strain, which are a constellation of temporary symptoms from staring at a screen, including dry eye, blurred vision, headache, and more. And so they built this thing as a way to, what they say here, all the tech buzz around it, also called attention to a lack of long-term research around consumer technology's impact on vision health, at least compared to the growth of tech itself and the amount of time it demands from our eyes. The only problem that I really have with this is because you can't find a link, it's very personal. I haven't been bothered by it in 40 years. And others, they can't sit in front of a computer for a shift at work because their eyes dry out and all of that. So I don't think that we really can build anything. This is what happens.
No, I think it might be unique to the individual. Some people have higher tolerance, I guess, for use of screens than others. But I don't think screens are overall bad.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Other potentially problematic patterns, such as an onion, were made into metallic displays at the AOA's The Eye pop-up, as well as pearl necklace, which is a pattern that the doctors might see deep inside an eye during an exam that indicates a health problem.
Okay, I've never heard of those. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure that if we were to go and talk to a doctor, an eye doctor, an ophthalmologist directly,
and ask specific questions like that, right?
Yeah.
Because even if they see that, they're not going to necessarily say that. They're going to say, "Oh, I'm seeing signs of fill in the blank.
I see this, I see that." So while there is research showing potential for lasting eye damage with exposure to blue light, it's at much higher doses than what we get through tech and screens. The American Macular Degeneration Foundation sums up what the current thinking about blue light is, and it's basically contradictory and inclusive. While there's research that definitively supports wearing sunglasses to protect against sun's UV rays, for example, the same can't be said for light from tech. And you really you need to make sure that when you're wearing sunglasses that they are protecting UV rays and that they're not just dimming the light. Because if all they're doing is blocking photons and not UV rays, your eyes are opening up, and that's allowing more UV damage to be done to the
than if
inside
you didn't
of
have
your
the
eyes.
sunglasses on to begin with.
Correct, because your eyes will shrink, the pupils will dilate, go like that, and allow more light in, and that's not what you want. So they say, at the eye event, optometrist and AOA panelist Dr. Belinda Starkey said that research is ongoing into the long-term impacts of technology on eye health. Quote, "The jury's still out." But you only have one set of eyes, folks. So
I do like that this isn't all, hey, screens are bad, you can't use tech. It's kind of saying we're looking at it, but don't necessarily know.
We have the best tech. All right.
The most compelling quote ever, but I'm sure it was,
the hubris is kind of amazing.
Give up a summary statement or something, and that's
we have the best. For this point in time, sure, maybe.
Right, as of yesterday, but maybe not as of tomorrow.
Yeah, but the aliens, they've got better. Anyway, so you know what happens in a blink?
Well, is it related to... Oh, no, I was thinking...
we go back to the front page of ohmTown.com, and that ends our show, Non Sequitur News, for August 24th, 2024. So I am Merwad, and that is the Sentient AI from the future. We're going to end the show and rejigger, and we're going to do Reality Hacker, like lickety split. Probably at 6:15 is when we're going to start it. Sound good?
Sounds good. Good night, ohmTown citizens. Be sure to like and subscribe so you know when we're live, but we'll be back very shortly.
And know when we're alive. See you in a little bit. I sneezed really hard and one of my eyeballs fell out.